Honorable guests, welcome to the Hall A again. I will be the Master of Ceremony for this hall. Now, coming up next, we have the panel, Future-Proofing Metaverse Ventures, AI Strategies for Long-Term Business Sustainability. And for this panel, we have the moderator, Gözde Dizdar, Ms. Gözde Dizdar, CEO of GD Global and Executive Board Member of International Cooperation Platform. As panelists, we have Ethan Liu, Chief Executive Officer of Nspace, Philip Ma, CEO of DIA Group, and Dr. Tayyar Sabri, Founder and Managing Director of Flawless Money. I welcome you to the stage, sirs. Thank you. Before we start the panel, we will also have a keynote speech by Mr. Cengiz Özgencil, founder of International Cooperation Platform. I invite Mr. Cengiz Özgencil on stage for his speech. And afterwards, Gözde Hanım, the floor is yours.
Öncelikle toplantımızın birinci gün, ikinci yarısına başlamanın yorgunluğu ama mutluluğu içindeyim. Başarılı bir sabah oturumları ve panellerinden sonra öğle yemeği rehaveti hepimize çökmüştür. Bu rehaveti gidermek için güzel bir panel koyduk. İnanıyorum ki içeriğini herkesin yakından takip etmek istediği, öğrenmek istediği, uzmanların panelist olarak Uzak Doğu'dan, Malezya'dan gelmeleriyle başlayacak bu panelimiz. Bu panelin öncülüğünde kendi şirketleriyle Mrs. Lee'ye ayrıca teşekkür ediyorum. Çok uzaklardan bize güvenip böyle bir paneli koyup ana sponsorumuz da oldu. Metaverse girişimlerinin geleceği sürdürülebilir iş modelleri için yapay zeka stratejileri başlığında bu panelimiz irdelenecek. Bu başlıkta moderatör olmak benim için de çok öğretici olacak. Konu başlığında moderatör olma görevi verildiğinde hemen birkaç kitap alıp okuma yapmaya çalıştım. Çünkü çok kısa bir süre vardı. O kitapları sonuna kadar okumak da bir maharet işti. Ama becerebildiğim kadarıyla bir şeyleri öğrenmek istedim. Mesela yapay zeka girişimi bu konuda önde gelen 4 ülkenin Amerika Birleşik Devletleri, Birleşik Krallık, Kanada ve İsrail'in yaptığı yatırım 1 trilyon doların üzerinde olduğunu öğrendim. Buna diğer ülkelerin yaptığı yatırımlar da eklendiğinde insanlık tarihinin en büyük yatırımı olduğu görülüyor. İş insanlarının ve CEO'ların yapay zeka teknolojilerini anlaması gerekmiyor. Bununla birlikte bu konu hakkında bilgi sahibi olmak, bilgiye dayalı stratejik kararlar almak ve uygulamanın genel koşullarına karar verme konusunda fayda sağlayabilir diye düşünüyorum. İnsanların bu konuda çok sayıda korkuları var. Yapay zeka bizi esir alabilir mi? İnsanlığa köle yapabilir mi? Her şeyi robotlar yapacaksa işsizlik sorunu oluşmaz mı? Bu soru işaretleri yapay zekanın içeriğini bilmeden herkesin kafasında. Buna ben de dahil olabilirim. Son dönemde Matrix'ten başlayarak çokça dizi ve film de bu korkuların üzerine inşa ediliyor gibi. Ayrıca yapay zeka konusunda çok sayıda etik ve ahlaki tartışma da sürüyor. Meraklısına bu tartışmaları takip etmesini öneririm. Metaverse gelince haberlerde okuduğumuz Metaverse'de yer alan bir süper mega yat 650 bin dolara satıldı. İnanılmaz ciddi bir paraya Metaverse'den 650 bin dolara yat alınabiliyor. Bu başlıklar bizi şaşkına çeviriyor. Sanal bir dünyada yaşamamız mümkün. İnsanlar bu tür sanal dünya yatırımlarına neden bu kadar para harcıyor? Soruları hep aklımı kurcalamıştı. Arsalar alıyorlar biliyorsunuz, apartman daireleri alıyorlar. Sanırım bugün buradan bu konuda aydınlanmış olarak ayrılacağız. değerli konuşmacıların konuşmalarından sonra. Ben bu nedenle yine Mrs. Lee'ye teşekkür ediyorum. Panelist arkadaşlara ve değerli kardeşim Gözde Hanım'a başarılı bir yönetim sürdürmesini diliyorum. Hepinize de ayrı ayrı tekrar iyi günler ve saygılar diliyorum.
Uluslararası İşbirliği Platformu'nun ve Boğaziçi Zirvesi'nin değerli kurucusu, değerli büyüğümüz Cengiz Özgenç ile biz de bu açılış konuşması için çok teşekkür ederiz. Ben hem Uluslararası İşbirliği Platformu Yönetim Kurulu üyesi hem de GD Global CEO'su olarak ayrıca bu önemli panelde moderatör olmaktan mutluluk duyuyorum. İzninizle bundan sonraki kısma İngilizce devam edelim. Zaten birkaç dilde çevirilerimiz de olacak. I would like to welcome ladies and gentlemen to today's panel discussion on future-proofing metaverse ventures, IA strategies for long-term business sustainability. Today we have gathered a distinguished group of experts who will provide valuable insights on the intersection of metaverse, artificial intelligence, and various industries, as well as the strategies required for long-term success. Before we dive into the discussion, let's take a moment for our esteemed panelists to introduce themselves briefly. This is a big honor for us because those three distinguished panelists, Mr. Ethan, Phillips, and Thayer, fly almost all over the world from Taiwan, from Hong Kong, and also from UK. So let me pass floor to first Mr. Ethan for short introduction. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Gusti. Thank you for having me. It's glad to be here. I'm very happy to hear more perspectives about the metaverse. My name is Ethan. I'm the CEO of Unspace Taiwan, which is a gaming designing company, and also the CSO of METAVERSE X. I believe all of you have seen our booth out there. And I'm also an influencer and best-selling author in Web3 industry. So I hope today I can bring you more value by sharing my ideas about Metaverse and how the past 2 years we have made it come true in METAVERSE X. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome again, Mr. Ethan. Now let me pass the floor to Mr. Philip.
Hello. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Philip. I'm the CEO of the DIA Group, which means it stands for Digital Integrated Asia. With this vision, we're pretty much like a private equity venture capital investment firm based in Hong Kong with the SFC license. We are pretty much the first batch of financial people from the traditional financial industry to look at digital assets, metaverse, Web 3.0, this kind of industry in Hong Kong. We are like the pioneer in Hong Kong with SFC regulation-related guidelines to invest in digital assets back in 2018, which the few pioneers in Hong Kong and Asia. So I'm glad to be here in this part of the world, this region, to explore and to find opportunities we can cooperate in this metaverse, Web 3.0, and blockchain technology areas. Thank you.
The last but not the least is Dr. Thayer Sabri with us. Once more, I would like to welcome you, Doctor, and please briefly introduce yourself.
Thank you very much. So my name is Thayer Sabri. I founded a consultancy that focuses on fintech and payments and e-money at a time when there was a change from purely physical transacting in the late 90s to online transactions when the internet happened. And we've been doing business for about 20 years or so, and we've seen a transition from one way of doing business, one way of interacting between users, between consumers and other consumers, or consumers and businesses, and the new way, the way that we're used to now, the online way. And it's very interesting now to see a transition, once again, from quite a centralized and not very immersive way of engaging each other and engaging businesses online, to perhaps one which is far more immersive, and maybe what's at stake is much bigger, and our involvement in it is much bigger. So we're very interested in this. The kind of areas that, at least as far as payments are concerned, that come to mind are things like normal online payments, like you're familiar with, cards and GPay and iPay, all this kind of thing. And then there is, of course, crypto, but stable coins in crypto. And then what seems to be coming along now, which is central bank digital currencies, and also open banking where data is exchanged. I think the Turkish market is quite advanced in these things. I remember seeing presentations by Guarantee Bank and others doing some really amazing things a long time ago. So I think you guys are probably familiar with where the direction of a lot of this is going, and if it moves into something much more sophisticated, it'll be even more exciting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor. Let me also make a brief note about the panel rules. So each panelist will have approximately 3 minutes to respond to each question. And since our panelists have expertise in different areas, we tailored some questions accordingly. So let me start with the first question. Let me ask to Mr. Eaton first. Mr. Eaton, our mission is to explore the impact of the metaverse on various industries. And also, if we are to discuss the opportunities and challenges, what would be your approach, the biggest challenge?
Okay, so during the lunchtime, actually, many people ask me about what is metaverse and where is the metaverse. So I would say that metaverse is a place that connects the physical world and the digital world. So far, the entrance is here. Everyone has this cell phone. So this is the first entrance that you can enter the metaverse. And you can check the time you used on your mobile phone every day. So how many hours did you spend on your mobile phone? I believe most of you spend more than 8 hours on your mobile phone into the digital world. No matter you consume the social media content, or you watch a YouTube video, or you just search or connect with your friends or colleagues or family through the WhatsApp. So to enter the metaverse, we built 3 different kind of entrance for the users. First is, of course, a website that everyone can access the metaverse through these mobile devices. And second, it's a social app. Why should we bother to build a social app since we already have WhatsApp or Facebook? Because these social media, they were centralized. So every time when you upload your photos, your videos, you are not really sure about who owns this content. But through our decentralized social app, then you can manage all your digital assets on the blockchain so that you make sure that you own your video. And once anyone would like to take use of your content, you can make a profit of it. And third, you should know in this year, Meta just launched their Quest 3, which is the first mainstream mixed reality devices. And next year, in 2024, the first quarter, Apple is going to launch their first mixed reality device, which is called Vision Pro. So I believe this is the trend that we should get used to enter the metaverse. So MetaSpace X is going to publish our first VR and XR experience in the VR headset next year. So these are what most people know about the metaverse and what is going to happen in the next year, and we have already been prepared for that. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Mr. Ethan already kindly mentioned about 3 anchors. So from Philip's, your perspective, what would you add to this introduction?
So basically, I think thank you to Ethan's. We call him Master Ethan's in this metaverse areas in Asia, and our fund actually become to know this area of metaverse 2-3 years ago, as we know that okay, the trend, global trend, even Facebook, as we all know that, changed the name to Meta. Because my background, I came from like traditional finance, investment, management point of view. We truly believe all this AI technology, like algorithm tradings, with the big ecosystem, like for example, Meta, SpaceX had in Asia, with a lot of members, participants, they call it residents in these areas, already is developing very fast and huge. Although we know that probably recently, for the past 6 months or 12 months, a lot of people call it like crypto winter, or the investment side, or people, I believe a lot of people here may already experience with like cryptocurrencies, digital assets, thinking, okay, there might be, it's not a strong future, or because the market drops, everything like that recently. But as a fund, as institution investor point of view, like we had track records in these areas, we believe that's the only beginning and not the opportunity is coming. Let me give you a very simple examples. Like back in 2000 years, like dot-com bubbles. But as from investor or capital market point of view, the true players in dot-com technology, internet are coming after the bubbles. The real players like Google, Amazon's, all these big giant global 500 companies are born after the crisis or the bubble. So we believe, actually a lot of people may say that, okay, even Facebook is not doing good in these metaverse areas, but from our point of view, with metaverse, like metaspace approach and strategy, backed up by the Asian love of technology, and a lot of like, the drive from younger generation. There's a huge young generation in Asia, South Pacific regions right now. I think we believe this metaverse industry will be like at least triple or double in the 2-3 coming years in terms of the population or the user of this metaverse space. And given the transparency of the blockchain technology, with the hardwares of like a lot of vision, AR, VR technology devices are coming up with cheaper price, more friendly price. I think as a fund investors, we believe this area will boom at least, and at least triple our returns in the coming 2-3 years. Yeah.
Mr. Philip, it's an honor to host you in Istanbul because this is your very first time to Istanbul and Turkey. But I should underline one thing. You mentioned about crypto winter. We are blessed with 4 seasons. So even there is a harsh winter, we always believe that sunny summer is coming.
Yeah. I believe your winter is very warm.
So from this point, I would like to ask also Dr. Ther about which is the biggest challenges and opportunities you see from your point of view.
Thank you. And I want to pick up the point about the metaverse and where it is and how we can look forward. And I was thinking about this a little bit, and it reminded me of, and I don't know how many people here are old enough to remember, when there was Apple created a tablet called the Newton. So it was long before, it was before the internet. Steve Jobs tried to create a tablet. It was called the Newton, and it just didn't work at all. It didn't sell. The concept didn't work. Later on, we had much better touch screens. We had much better, we had apps that could be fitted on a device like this to make use of it. And we had very fast internet that allows us to do things that we couldn't do. And all of a sudden the tablet really had its place and it works. And the same thing, if you think back when we used to connect on the internet with a modem. We used to download MP3 music, or maybe you didn't, but we never thought that streaming music, let alone streaming DVDs or streaming films, was really a possibility. It was just impossible. We could hardly just browse the net. But now it's a reality, right? So sometimes technology has to move forward to a point when the things that you think were impossible or are not very attractive suddenly become compelling. Now, is the metaverse on the verge of doing that? Is it going to do that? Obviously, nobody knows. But AI makes a big difference. And we'll talk in the next question about how some of the functionalities that AI brings forward could actually make it an extremely compelling environment. So I think the opportunity needs a little bit of looking back to learn and also a leap of imagination. As far as challenges, there's no shortage of challenges. Anything new has lots of challenges. And in my area of expertise, I would look at the regulation. If you do anything which spans what you might call cyberspace, then immediately you're going to think about jurisdictional issues. Where is it taking place? Which country has jurisdiction over it? Which multiple countries? Who regulates it? How do you regulate it? Everything from privacy to financial crime, to contract, to even to tax. All of these issues are going to have to be understood and resolved. So there's plenty of challenges, but that doesn't mean that we can't solve them. It just means that there's work to do, and that's probably where the opportunity lies.
I think for all those challenges, this is a good start because we are very glad to discuss what we can do and plan for the mid-term, short-term, and long-term. So let me continue with AI. I would like to ask this question to Mr. Eaton. In this session, let's try to explore how artificial intelligence can be leveraged to enhance user experiences, driving innovation, create sustainable business models within the metaverse. So if you can guide us with some insights on the practical applications of artificial intelligence, we would be very happy.
Yeah. So in the past 2 years, we have already built some physical industry in the metaverse. Take our company, for example. We have a physical fruit farm, which is a durian farm in Malaysia. But how do we build up a durian valley in the metaverse? Then we invite our citizens, so-called our citizens, they are our users, our members. They can come to our metaverse and plant durian. And then they harvest the fruit and sell it at the marketplace, then make money. So it sounds just like a magical. But how do you teach them to plant durian in the metaverse? Then that's where AI comes out, because everyone has different problems when they try to access the metaverse. So AI, now we have ChatGPT. They can generate a lot of human-like responses. Then everyone, they can own a one-on-one coach to teach them how to play our game, to plant a digital fruit in the metaverse. So that's the part one. AI can help you easily, efficiently get these users on board. And second, people can make money in our metaverse by introducing our metaverse to new users. But in the past, they have to make their own social media content, like on TikTok or a video call through Zoom or other conference software. But now, they can use AI-generated content to make videos or we call it an avatar that can speak for them. So that some of them might be afraid of talking to the camera. Now they have an avatar to help them to grow their community, to find out more potential users so that they can make a profit by introducing them to our metaverse. And third, since I mentioned they have to sell and buy the digital items at the marketplace to make profits, they have to learn how to price it. So AI can help you to analyze the trading price, the potential needs of the marketplace. Then you know how to give your durian or your fish, your any digital items a better price so that can maximize your profits. So I think that at least there are 3 different ways that you can use in MetaSpace X by AI and work with it to maximize your income, profit. That's all, yeah.
Thank you very much, Ethan. With this answer, I think it's now time to focus on investment opportunities and challenges in metaverse ventures. I know that Mr. Philip is the right person to ask this question. So since you are really experienced in digital investments, please provide your perspective on evaluating and supporting metaverse ventures from an investment point.
Okay, I think right now a lot of metaverse projects at the moment are supported by somehow some digital assets, or in more layman terms, cryptocurrencies. I'll give you a very simple example. Our fund, DIA Metaverse Fund, we use AI algorithm technology which programmed by a lot of expertise, which the program will run itself. It's a very example. We are human beings, right? We need to sleep at least few hours per day. But algorithm, all this programming, trading strategy we use to develop the metaverse strategy, or whatever you call it, trading on some cryptocurrencies, it automatically give you the signal, or they can carry out the trades by themselves. So obviously, with all this algorithm AI technology, it's outperformed a lot of human beings, like back in the old days, in the financial world, like investment managers, traders. The performance is well performed by AI technology. So all this metaverse technology or projects, I think we invested, empowered and embraced by AI technology, I think we will be outperform the traditional finance investments, which we are standing at a very good time at the moment. I think compared to the traditional financial assets, metaverse assets, or you call it digital assets, is relatively reasonably at a good discount price at the moment. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, I think after this finance, it's time to focus on the legal and regulatory framework surrounding the metaverse. So I want to make this next point of discussion. So we have Dr. Sabri with us. Dr. Sabri, can you share your considerations and challenges, such as intellectual property rights, data privacy, which has been a big issue, and the role of governments in regulating metaverse activities?
Thank you. Thank you very much. It is not so difficult to think of the challenges in the regulatory space that a metaverse type of environment faces, because we're already facing them in the internet world, right? So when we talk about IP rights, and the digital world. So the ability to just copy anything and send it anywhere in the world and to make multiple copies of it is a challenge to intellectual property rights. One great big step forward was the development of distributed ledger technologies, part of which was the creation of this non-fungible token. So the idea that you can actually create a digital thing which you can't, although you can make 2 or 3 copies of, you can actually prove that it belongs to you, and therefore you can enforce rights that attach to it. So NFTs solve a lot of these problems, whether they are for things like pictures and all that kind of stuff, but also attached to things like real estate, or attached to financial instruments, for example. So we have challenges, but we also have potential solutions. And solutions, the regulation of NFTs is really early in the process. So developing something, not just at a national level, say in Turkey, but also at a supranational level, finding a common basis for regulating some of these things, so that when you have a right, or when you have an asset and you want to exchange it online, there is recognition of it no matter where the counterparty is located. So that's some of the challenges. Privacy is a really big one, and you'll be aware of how much data is shared and is visible to everybody online when you're browsing, when you're doing business and so on. Finding ways in which to take back ownership of who you are and what you're doing is really important. And this is something which is beginning to happen now. The idea of avatars could be one way of doing this, where you have something that represents you, but not necessarily you.
Exactly.
So it could be something that you say, okay, in this environment, I'm an avatar. And in this other environment, I'm going to have a different avatar that does something else. And you could build up reputation associated with those avatars without necessarily it being linked directly to you or all the time to you. Financial crime is a big deal. It's almost exploding. And this is something that has to be dealt with at all levels. So not just in terms of legislation, but cooperation between the people who lose things, whether it's businesses or individuals, between their service providers who facilitate for them to interact online, or governments and law enforcement agencies. So it's something that we all have to work towards. If you think about it, part of the challenge is actually that everybody develops their own law, and when you come to do something online, you don't know which law applies or which law you have to comply with, or you end up complying with the most strict law, and then it makes your life very difficult. Every time you want to do something, you look around, which is the strictest one, and you do that to make sure that you comply with everything. And then you end up not doing very much at all, because you are tying yourself up. Exactly. So finding a way to reconcile all of these obligations is also going to be a challenge.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sabri. One of the headlines from your informative explanation for me is, every challenge comes with an opportunity. So I think now it's time to focus on collaboration and partnerships among stakeholders within Metaverse ecosystem. So I would like to hear each panelist, but let me start with Mr. Eaton. So Mr. Eaton, what is the significance of collaboration about diverse stakeholders, including business CEOs, startup founders, investment fund managers, and of course, legal professionals?
I think no single entity can build the metaverse alone. Even in MetaSpaceX, we recruit a lot of outstanding programmers and developers and game designing companies that help us to link this ecosystem. So I think to build a metaverse, to build an ecosystem around the virtual economy, we'll very welcome everyone to share your ideas. If you have a question like, I have a physical retail company, can I build my company in MetaSpaceX, in the metaverse? Yes, you can, but how? That's the idea we have to come up with together. And then I will encourage you to get involved. Since everyone has a $1 million idea, but only the person who executes it can earn the $1 million. So we have booth out there. So it's very welcome. You can get involved and to see if you want to invest or you just want to give it a taste. Just register membership and then see what happened in the metaverse. So get involved is the second step. And third, I think to join the ecosystem might be the biggest beneficial action you could take because this ecosystem is open to very various different industry. Just like us, we build an agriculture and aquaculture and also a boxing game in the metaverse, which reflect in the physical boxing game that our ambassador, the legend boxing champion Manny Pacquiao, he is our ambassador in the metaverse, so that everyone can join the boxing game with him to challenge, to earn the champion, to earn the money award in the metaverse. So just try to be creative, be open, get involved, and join the ecosystem. I think this is how metaverse can benefit you in today's discussion.
Thank you very much. If I am to also sum up what dear Ethan shared with us, I would say that action speaks louder than words. I totally agree that everyone may have $1 million idea, but execution is totally something different. And at this point, we are once more very happy that MetaSpaceX is not only sponsoring this panel, but also with us. So during the day, please don't miss the chance to visit their booth as well. So, Mr. Philip, can we also hear your approach?
Yes, I think one of the reasons why we heavily invest or has positive expectation on metaverse, this industry, is like a revolution. It creates an environment, like a platform, like a lower entry point with fairness. Everything is transparent on this metaverse platform. And the cost of setting up, for example, as what Ethan has said before, like you can open your own shops, you can fulfill your dream or ideas with a much lower cost on some metaverse platform, which the accessibility by everyone around this global, as long as they have access to internet or to Wi-Fi, they can try your services, your products, your ideas, which that's why we heavily support on this. It's true like a freedom, fair opportunity. Another important point, as what Dr. mentioned, as we probably use a lot of cryptocurrencies on this meta platform as payment, as where people make payments or receive payments. And also it's like a decentralized cryptocurrency as well. We support like, it's not manipulated by any central governments or banks or something, and it's free to trade, free to wire your results, your profits from your entrepreneurship on this metaverse platform. So that's why we think it's really like a revolution, provide a lot of fair opportunity for entrepreneur or people want to fulfill their dreams. Somewhere they find it difficult on the reality, but on metaverse, you can give it a good try.
Thank you very much. And Dr. Sabri.
So any kind of venture which has multiple stakeholders, let alone a venture which is a community, essentially, right, benefits from having all the stakeholders represented in the work that is done, whether it's in designing it, or it's in building it, or it's in operating it. So the users need to be represented, the investors, obviously, the merchants who are going to have, or the service providers who are going to provide goods and services in the environment. And the service providers to everybody, whether it's people like me, consultants or lawyers, or whether it's people who build the infrastructure, the IT and cybersecurity professionals, everybody's involvement means that you're more likely to be able to identify the issues that you need to deal with. You get a bigger commitment from everybody because they feel involved, and hopefully the return on investment is that much better as well. So I think it's a question that has the answer within it. I think cooperation and stakeholder involvement is really, really important.
Thank you, thank you. Lastly, I would like to discuss the future outlook of Metaverse and its potential integration with traditional business, like retail, e-commerce, agriculture, entertainment, finance, and maybe more. So this time, let me start with Dr. Sabri first. How the Metaverse and artificial intelligence strategies will impact long-term business sustainability in these industries, Dr. Sabri?
Thank you. So I think that AI, generally speaking, has a role to play in all parts. It has a role to play in understanding what is going on, in innovating, creating tools for innovation, in efficiency, making things happen more effectively and more cheaply, and also in building the environment. You know, you can create landscapes, you can create personalized experiences with AI that you can't create otherwise. So the future is definitely has a very exciting potential. In terms of what it's going to look like, it's a guess, right? You could always look at it and say it's going to complement what we've got right now. So we're going to have what we have now, whether it's online or in the physical world, and this is going to be in addition. You could then look at it and say, oh no, it's going to replace something, right? Like maybe a lot of the online retailers replaced the physical stores, you know? And you might think, actually, I don't want that. So we don't know where the balance is going to be. Or it may be that it forces innovation. So if I want to get a service, or let's say I want to buy a house somewhere, maybe I go into a metaverse where I have the experience of actually walking around the house, perhaps, or going in to visit the location and being there, and then coming back and then going and buying the actual house. So the possibilities are really rich, and it's an exciting time that we're living in.
Thank you, thank you. Mr. Philip.
I think in order to let everyone to enjoy this metaverse, a lot of the investment needs to be made on the hardwares. For example, as we know that probably Facebook, Google, they launched a couple of those glasses, but which they are really not user-friendly, and with not user-friendly prices as well. So I think given that the time, investment, to make these hardwares more cheaper price and more easier to use for everyone, I think this metaverse industry can be boomed. But at this stage, a lot of investment technology need to be done on the hardwares. That's what we are believing. Yeah.
Mr. Eaton?
Yeah. And I believe that metaverse is actually community-driven. That if you have no users, then you don't have the metaverse. So how the AI strategy will impact the traditional industry and how it will sustain the metaverse, according to our experience. Let me take one thing, for example. Our chairman, our founder, Jessie, she's very interested in karaoke. You know karaoke? That you can sing in a small room, then just like pretend you are a singer. It's very popular.
Good to know, Mr. Eaton.
Yeah.
Good to know.
It's very popular in East Asia, in Japan, mainland China, Malaysia, Taiwan. And during COVID, nobody can go to karaoke because we don't want to be locked in a small room then get infected, right? And then you can sing online through the app, but you have to spend money to get your own digital room, and then you get no return. You just make it an entertainment. But in the metaverse, with the empowerment of AI, that you can build your own avatar that sing for you, with your own voice, but with a good-looking outfit or fashion or your personal concert, then everyone can pay you crypto
Exactly.
to buy digital tickets. Then you are a so-called VTuber, you are a virtual singer, then you will be very popular on the internet in the metaverse. And that, rather than you just upload the video on TikTok and you get nothing. So that's how metaverse can connect our community and make the physical industry or entertainment a digital one, and then to benefit our community. So make your community rich and save their time with AI and make more money for them and for your company. That's, I think, the most practical strategy that can sustain our business in the metaverse.
Thank you very much. For me, this was an honor to host you as a panelist, but I think it was a very fruitful, successful panel. Of course, in Bosphorus Summit, the success of a panel is measured by the good timing. So I know that there are a lot of topics to be discussed, but I would like to thank everyone for such a good panel, and see you in the next one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ethan.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to our panelists and moderator. I would like to invite Mr. Şerif Kaynar, Executive Board Member of ICP, to present the Çekül letters. Önce siz
Ethan, can we have one group photo?
3 saplings have been planted on a forest on behalf of your name by the UIP, ICP.
O benimki şey. Yok yok. Ters abi. Yok. Şu siz. Let's change.
They are all different. Everyone is on